I love One of Our Dinosaurs is Missing. I think an awful lot of my sense of humour comes from a mixture of that and Asterix.
So Paul, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm fine. I'm having a very busy time here.
What's it like to meet the fans who are actually reading your comics?
Well, that is tremendous. That's the best thing. It's tremendous to have an audience. That's all any writer wants, really, to talk to an audience.
What's it like when, as a British writer, living in the UK, and you get a call saying Superman or X-Men or any of these really iconic characters?
Well, it's always really cool. Sometimes the call means you sort of wander around the room for an hour thinking, have I got a take on that? And then you finally conclude, actually, you haven't. That's happened to me a couple of times. But, generally, it's really exciting to be offered something like that. And, or to be offered a choice. This is what you dream about,
DC obviously had the New 52. They're sort of rebooting the universe with all that history of, how do you almost get that out of your mind and just say, okay, we're starting from scratch?
It's a great relief, being able to actually have the freedom to do new things with these characters. That's worth everything. I used to be, back in the day, really much a continuity kid. I got so sick of it, and it's a great pleasure to be rid of it.
With the artists, do you have a say on who you get to work with?
Sometimes it varies. Usually it'll be put to you, we like this guy, do you like this guy? And they'll send you some samples. And if you like generally what you're seeing, then you go, oh yes, I see exactly what they're thinking of. Sometimes it takes a long time. For Knight and Squire, there was a tremendous search for the right person before we found Jimmy Broxton, and I was so glad we did, because he's a genius. Often, editors have a good sense of who's good. And, Pete Woods was the first choice and in place already, and I went with, oh yes, that's great. And, it varies.
Knight and Squire is actually quite, it's funny. It's a funny, amusing thing. Is it kind of nice to have that sort of freedom to almost spoof a kind of very popular character?
Well, it wasn't a spoof as such. I think those two are exactly as Grant created them. We just see more of their world. But I think that's the best work I've ever done in comics, Knight and Squire. I think it says things, it does things, and it's continually now the one people critically keep coming back to. I'm doing a seminar to a bunch of students by video in 2 weeks' time purely about Knight and Squire. So it's getting a little reputation of its own, It's really nice. Okay, what's your earliest childhood memory?
My earliest childhood memory, well, we said not to talk about Doctor Who, but it'll be able to Doctor Who. But actually also, I suppose, One of Our Dinosaurs is missing.
Oh, one might.
Seventh Voyage of Sin, those, or Star Wars. It's all fantasy-related stuff, and and that's why I got into reading comics.
I love One of Our Dinosaurs is Missing. I think an awful lot of my sense of humour comes from a mixture of that and Asterix.
I just remember seeing it in the cinema.
I think I've seen that about 20 times.
A very underrated Disney film, I think.
Nannies versus Ninjas. It's amazing it hasn't got a remake. Jet Li in the Peter Ustinov role. That'd be fantastic.
That would be amazing.
Actually,
yes.
No, Jackie Chan. Comedy skills. That would be fabulous. I'm casting it now. Hugh Grant does the David Nimmo bit. Fantastic. Derek Lewis.
Are there any books that you would like to get your teeth into?
Oh, loads still. The Defenders has suddenly become a sellable property again, so there's no vacancy there. And, of course, I'm DC exclusive. Dan Dare one day. By hook or by crook. Oh, Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel. Again.
Which one?
Which one? Billy Batson. Oh, sorry, that. Yes, of course. Which one? No, Billy Batson. But again, there's no vacancy. So, there's lots of stuff.
Thanks very much, Paul. Nice to meet you.
Thank you. Nice to meet you. Cheers.
Please subscribe for more videos from here at the London Super Comic Con. Write your comments below and check out our other videos here in this range. Did you pick Galactus because we're here at the Stanley weekend?
That was a bit of it as well. I think as I said, it was my first costume, and I was looking for someone that hasn't really been done that much before. And having a look through convention pictures, you don't see many. Galacti. I'm not quite sure what the plural of Galactus is, so I thought I'd give him a bash. And I think the helmet's the design is fantastic. So